Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you are all having an incredible day. To start things off, a subsidiary of SBI Holdings, the investment arm of the Japanese financial giant known as SBI Group, will pay out dividends. And the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap, it is known as XRP. According to a company statement released on Wednesday, Morningstar Japan, a publicly traded joint venture with SBI Holdings, will pay out 30 XRP to shareholders with 100 or more shares. This intermediary shareholder benefit program will coincide with shares held as of the 30th of September 2019. The move comes amid a company plan to increase the shareholder interim dividend. The current value of 1 XRP is 25 US cents. To receive the crypto dividends, eligible recipients will have to open a VC trade account operated by the company. The deadline for applying for this shareholder special offer is the 31st of March 2020. Fintech firm Ripple and SBI previously partnered on the blockchain-based platform application MoneyTap last year. Through a joint partnership dubbed SBI Ripple Asia, the platform launched with a focus on trading XRP, the native derived token from the XRP ledger. The most interesting part about all of this to me is how much SBI has been committed to the usage of, accumulation of, usage, partnership with, like, everything you can possibly fit into a sentence that has to do with Ripple and XRP. The people from SBI had announced, I believe in 2017, that they were creating their own cryptocurrency exchange that would be not based off of XRP, but XRP would be used as a base pair. I think the people from SBI also have a 10% partnership with the people from Ripple. So this made a lot of headlines. I could have opened up every single tab, as it were, discussing this. Very interesting to note as well is that when this news actually came out, XRP's price actually responded to it, which I thought was kind of interesting because yesterday, even when prices were down by between 8 to 15%, I believe XRP was down around 12%. And then XRP ended up being the only coin in the green after this news actually came out. So it's quite fascinating that the price had actually gone up, because the price never usually, typically, sometimes, oftenly does not move. So I assume we'll have more news about this as time ends up going on. It is widely believed that the people from SBI hold an enormous amount of XRP. So this could be another way for them to try and use it. I assume this will also catch on as well. There's no real, like, dramatic information, like super I'm gonna say super intense information. There's not like very specific information as to exactly how this is going to work or who's eligible for it, exactly on what levels, but still fascinating to see that this is going to happen. This also ties almost directly into the news that we had from Overstock, who just also announced that they plan on paying out dividends in their I think it's called the T0 coin or something like that. So I wonder if this is the way that industries will begin to move, if dividends and stuff like that will be paid out in cryptocurrencies. I mean, one can only assume that this is the way that we're moving. Anyway, I found this news kind of cool, and once again, it was all over the place. Yeah, let's move on. Next up, and probably one of the coolest news stories in a while, Portugal's tax authority has clarified that both cryptocurrency trading and payments in cryptocurrency will not be taxed in the country. It was reported by Cointelegraph in Espanol a couple of days ago. According to a report published on the 26th of August by Portuguese business newspaper Jornal de Negocios, the Portuguese Tax and Customs Authority have confirmed that crypto transactions or payments are exempt from VAT, that is value added tax. The agency reportedly provided the clarification to a local crypto mining company, publishing an official ruling document. In the document, the authority states that the exchange of crypto for fiat money is free of VAT, that is value-added tax, adding that crypto users do not have to pay any income tax. My actual goodness, can you imagine how great things would be if every country just got with the program and did stuff like this? The fact that, you know what hurts the most is that it didn't even take them that long to make a ruling like this, to decide it's fine, it's all completely tax-free, we don't even really care. How great is that? In the official statement, the Portuguese tax authority cited a 2015 ruling by the European Court of Justice regarding the case involving major Swedish Bitcoin portal bitcoin.se and its moderator David Hedqvist. At the report at the time, the court ordered that Bitcoin is a means of payment and that the exchange should therefore be exempted by VAT. However, the Swedish tax authority subsequently argued against the ruling, claiming the court did not fully understand the matter. It doesn't even... Who cares? Excuse my French. Who cares what the Swedish tax authority think? The fact is, for those of you who are looking for a new country to move to, who are, I'm not even joking, who were looking for a place to where you could buy, sell, trade, hold, day trade, do whatever you wanted with the cryptocurrency and not have any tax, also not having to pay any income tax. Do you understand how insane that is? That they have pretty much clarified that cryptocurrency is pretty much currency, but even more so, when you cash out of something, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, hedge funds, property, gold, silver, you typically have to pay taxes. And the fact that you don't have to pay any tax or any income tax is a little insane. I won't lie, the thought has entered my head to actually move to Portugal. Because that's just a bit too good. Here's the actual article discussing it, and here's the actual news article talking about it. They won't let me scroll down because of the entire you have to accept thing. I'm not going to accept from a website that I'm just going to be on for a couple of seconds. Anyway, here's the article. Here's the other article. That's insane. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, cryptocurrency derivatives giant known as BitMEX now controls 0.15% of all the Bitcoins in circulation, new data from the company has revealed. Compiled by industry media outlet The Block, a chart of BitMEX's insurance fund shows its stock has reached 31,300 BTC as of the 25th of August. This figure is the largest on fund record for the fund, my goodness, which BitMEX uses to reimburse winning traders on behalf of those who do not have funds to cover their losses. The fund has become well known due to its rapid increase in size since 2018. Compared to January 1st of this year, its balance has increased by over 50%. 12 months ago, the fund had only, air quotes, only 10,000 Bitcoin, and now has 31,300. As BitMEX explains in a dedicated post, the fund acts as a safeguard for users who incorrectly guess the trajectory of the market and avoid accruing negative balances on their account. This is interesting. I like that we have this information as well. We have, and I mean, not specifically us, maybe someone out there, thank you very much if you have been doing this, all the whale watchers out there who try to figure out exactly how much Bitcoin is actually not in circulation. I said before, and we've spoken about this 38,000 bajillion other times, I don't think, or rather I know for certain that there's not 18 million Bitcoin circulating. I don't think there's 10 million Bitcoin circulating, and I hardly believe at this point that there's over 2 million actively in circulation that are available for the 8.49 billion people that are on this planet. The point is, 31,300 Bitcoin is a lot. It's a lot more than one Bitcoin or half a Bitcoin for sure. But BitMEX isn't the largest financial institution in the entire world. And they are currently in possession of 31,000 Bitcoin. How many Bitcoin do you think the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, and Fidelity also have in their coffers, on their desk, on a flash drive? You understand what I'm trying to say? It's very interesting when we get these numbers because it kind of puts things further into perspective, especially they had 10,000, now they have 31,000. Logic tells us that if they release that number as we had this a couple of days ago, one can only assume that they're going to continue acquiring as many as they possibly can. I assume that during the next bull run type-esque situation that we end up having, I think things will become a lot clearer. But even I don't think people will get it until, and it's a shame as well, I don't think people will get it until like major news outlets start declaring how few Bitcoin that there are out there. That's when people will kind of go crazy. But anyway, like I always say, for those of you who are in the know, already in the cryptocurrency space, or have been trying to accumulate around 10 million Satoshis a month, you are literally farther ahead than billions of people on this planet. Here's the actual posting that they have right here for their holdings. And here's the little chart of them having nothing. And then having, can you imagine having 31,000 Bitcoin? Can you imagine having 500 Bitcoin? Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Binance is in the news. In a new report from Binance Research, analysts probe why the People's Bank of China, the country's central bank, is embarking on the development of a digital bank, central bank digital currency. Why am I reading the third word is always being read as the first word, and then this word is always the first word. The central bank digital currency. The move would make China the world's first major country to issue a sovereign digital currency. According to the report, it says, following Facebook's recent Libra white paper release, the Chinese central bank accelerated its plans to launch its own digital currency amidst growing concerns about continued capital outflows that would weaken the renminbi. Side note, Binance has been doing this quite often, and I assume that they're only going to continue. It's very fascinating that the people from Binance, or whoever is making these articles, continues to talk about like world affairs, current issues that are happening around the world, and they keep, I think it happens like once a week, that there's like a Binance research paper that ends up coming out talking about major movements in markets around the world and why they're doing certain things. And also the second part, I'm not sure if we discussed this yesterday when we were talking about the entire why China's doing what they're doing because of Facebook type thing. It's widely, and also there's also a third part into that as well that I'll get into it in a couple of seconds. The part is that China and many other countries are already fearing that Facebook's coin could potentially outpace them, and other people around the world will start using them more so. And even though a lot of these things are banned within China, people have figured out ways to get around them with VPNs or any of the multiple other things that people have on the internet. And the idea is that if Facebook launched their coin before China or any other country, which I think is very fascinating because Facebook is going to launch it. Facebook is going to launch their coin before at least 180 countries on this planet even think of doing so. And it's probably going to be bad news bears for all of them. Anyway, the point is China's main fear is that people will figure out how to use Facebook's coin and therefore not even find a need for using the Chinese digital currency, which is quite fascinating. China's central bank digital currency is expected to be based on a two-tier system, which we spoke about before, with no official release on a clear technical roadmap, obviously. Finance analysts speculate that the first layer will run on a permissioned blockchain system, obviously, but notes that it is uncertain whether or not the second layer will also be based on a blockchain network. Doubt it. I don't think it's even going to be anything blockchainy. I think it's just going to be something similar to it, where the ledger is going to be distributed amongst people and banks within the country. No normal person will have an issuance of the ledger, and I'm pretty sure it's going to stay that way until... Anyway, to tackle the Libra threat, which challenges both China's domestic policy system and its national currency, the People's Bank of China's digital asset will be backed one by one by fiat reserves and may only require KYC approval, but not necessarily a bank account to use the currency. They say, or have written, to ensure monetary sovereignty and effective transmission of the monetary policy, the central bank digital currency would be issued solely by the central bank, which will give the central bank digital currency ultimately legal status as tender. Unlike Libra or most cryptocurrencies, which are governed by distributed communities, the People's Bank of China would have absolute control over its digital currency. That pretty much goes without saying. The most interesting part for me is this. I listened to people talking about this on the podcast, and I watched a video as well on YouTube. And they said what they think might be happening within China is that China knows, or rather, China has previously before tried to put themselves in a situation where their currency could outpace the US dollar, or simply make it more attractive for people to do business within China as opposed to doing business with the United States. What people think allegedly could potentially also be happening with China's coin is that as Facebook's Libra coin is meant to be a worldwide, distributed, used by everyone, amazing, awesome usage of a coin, pretty much meaning if I'm here, you're there, and she's there, and he's over there, we can all use it around the world just by simply downloading the Calibra app. Got it. This is what the world banks and governments are most afraid of, is that it's something that people can use, drop of a dime, with ease. Takes about 18 seconds to download the app, therefore you can use it. What people think that China might be doing is trying to make sure that if you want to use it, and this isn't even certain as well, that if you want to use it outside of outside of China, you would simply maybe only have to do like a know your customer, like just say your name, address, so and so and so, and you'll be able to use that as well. If they figure out a way to get people around the world to use their digital currency as a means of payment instead of using the US dollar, this also puts excessive pressure on the US dollar, and it can be done very easily. Why? Because people within other countries around the world also do have access to WeChat, Alipay, Alibaba, and all these other things. And if you have a payment option that has nothing to do with you having to use PayPal, sign up for this, sign up for so-and-so, it's simply something that's already on your phone. If you decide to use that to message your friend so-and-so, and you want to send them money and you're inside of the United States, you can just simply use the People's Bank of China's digital currency. You can do so. So the idea that people are talking about is that if they make it easy enough to use and it's quick and accessible and so for everyone around the world, people who are even then just looking for more convenience or trying to use something that's not the US dollar, whether they may be an ally of the US or not, and that doesn't have to even be someone from a country who isn't an ally of the United States, air quotes, that they can simply decide to use China's currency because it's digital, and therefore no one would be able to stop them, which would also then help strengthen the Chinese currency because extra millions of people around the world are also using it as opposed to using the US dollar with PayPal, with Apple Pay, with so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. You get it? It's kind of interesting, right? Anyway, that is the China coin news. We had news yesterday, I believe, it's believed, I think they're going to try and launch it on November. Still no official confirmation on that, but they're definitely going to do it before the end of this year. We've definitely had that news multiple times already. However, I have a feeling, or rather, I'm interested in seeing the fireworks around the world when China releases their digital currency and Facebook releases it, and everything with backed ends up happening around the same exact time. If any of these ventures are successful, other countries are going to try and jump on the digital currency wagon extremely quick. And that's going to be interesting to watch. I'll put it that way. Next up, stablecoins with a clear governance framework may be hampered by the uncertainty of the lack of regulation, according to the European Central Bank. On the 29th of August, the European Central Bank released a new paper devoted to stablecoins, which it describes as digital units of value that are not a form of any specific currency, but rather rely on a set of stabilization tools in order to minimize fluctuations in their price. The ECB's paper is called "In Search for Stability in Crypto Assets Are Stablecoins the Solution," end quote, and proposes a classification of stablecoins based on different key concepts used to keep their value stable. Specifically, the European Central Bank outlined 4 major types of stablecoins, including those specified as tokenized funds, off-chain collateralized stablecoins, on-chain collateralized stablecoins, and algorithmic stablecoins. Keeping in mind, for those of you who were here, I said I thought it was, remember last year when I think at the beginning of the year, I think we had about 12 stablecoins, somewhere around there. By the middle of the year, I believe we had around 50. And by the time we got around to autumn, I think we had confirmed around 139 different stablecoins. And I said, isn't that really weird that all these stablecoins keep launching? All these other coins that are launching as ICOs, IEOs, STOs, all these things were being attacked immediately by governments. But these other cryptocurrencies that are pretty much stablecoins that are based off of fiat money aren't being attacked at all, and they were actually being slightly praised by people around the world. And I kept on saying, I said, it would be unsurprising to me if government started to accept or like stablecoins as a way to not have to create them themselves because they're already created, but also to start accepting them as a means of payment. Because what better way than having to create your own system because you don't know how to, than by having another company do it over the course of a year, seeing which one is the strongest, the most liquid, and then start adopting that one as well, which is, I think, we're moving into. I think a lot of countries around the world are going to never issue, my opinion, their own central bank digital currency, and they're going to try and find because most stable coins aren't decentralized. They are heavily centralized. They're usually from one place, one country, one blah, 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 one office, one set of computers. So I think governments will eventually try to absorb these, maybe rename them, or even just simply use the name that they had before. as a way to make sure that they have a way to enter the digital payment system, but not have to create one, like I said, by themselves. According to the ECB's data, there are at least 54 existing stablecoin projects, with 24 of them being operational. I guess a lot of them maybe died over the course of the last year, as many other coins have died. The total market cap of stablecoins initiatives tripled from 1.5 billion to around 4.3 billion in July 2019, with the average volume of stablecoin transactions was 13 billion per month, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Here's a little chart right here. The most important part is right here in the report. The European Central Bank emphasized existing uncertainties in governance and regulatory treatment of stablecoin projects. Specifically, the bank wrote that stablecoin adoption may require improvements to its governance, including the processes of updating the smart contracts at the core of the project. That, for those of you who didn't understand exactly what that sentence meant, exactly what I just said. I'm certain that this is exactly what's going to happen. They're figuring out a way to make sure that they can control them. As far as its governance, that means who controls it, who has the reign over said stablecoin. There's a reason why the IMF, the European Central Bank, and every other person in finance, or rather in some sort of financial aspect around the world, especially politicians in some sort of way, anyway, who are desperately into cryptocurrencies and trying to figure out a way to get control of them. The easiest thing for them to be able to control is a stablecoin. As many of the stablecoins are centralized, as one might say, all you have to do is find the right one and say, we have to partner with you. Here is $35 billion. Put it into your war chest and click print. Create them for us. And as part of our partnership, to make sure that you don't go down with the rest of them, we will control 51% of everything you have, and you will continue being able to do what you do. You'll make millions per year, but we will control the entirety of what you're doing. There's been at least 4 conversations like that have taken place over the last year. I can feel it in my bones. Look forward, or rather, it's not something to look forward to, but just keep an eye out for next year when certain stablecoins end up launching, or the stablecoins that we already have launched become a lot bigger and a lot wider. And this is why, if you remember, I think it was Pax Coin, I think it was Gemini Coin, Pax Coin, Tether, and something else last year. They were all fighting for the #1 spot within the United States, trying to see who had the most volume, had the most so-and-so. And this is why I also said it was very weird that there were politicians last year and also people from Bloomberg who were praising Tether and were coming out in support of Tether, saying, oh no, Tether's not being used for anything illegal. And I'm like, well, we have news that Tether's not all there. So why would people be coming out in support of a stable coin? Like, who are stable coins that amazing that we would have politicians coming out in support of them? No, they have their hand in the cookie jar, and they're trying to figure out a way to also, you have to understand, if you are the creator of a cryptocurrency or a stable coin, and you have the potential to be adopted by the United States or Argentina or Venezuela or Canada, like, there's a lot of money to be made. And this is why I think we see so many people trying to push out their stablecoin projects. I'm going to assume Tether's probably not going to go anywhere regardless of the past, what have you. And I think, like I said, pay attention to when we start getting more Canada coins. If we start getting some like Nigerian coins and stuff like that, it's going to happen. But just pay attention to who's creating them and who's adopting them. And this is why I also thought it was very interesting, keeping on with the stablecoin topic, why the people from Tether kept on launching their coin on different blockchain projects. I think they launched on EOS, and then I think there's also like a side chain of Tether on Bitcoin. Don't hold me to that, but they also are on Ethereum. They're also on Tron. And I was like, why would you be launching on multiple chains? They're trying to protect themselves. Anyway, here's the actual tweet for it right here. To kind of finish things off, I don't know if we spoke about this before. The Telegram blockchain project is moving a step closer with another milestone. Based on a report by Russian media, Telegram would release the code to run a node on the network by Sunday. That is this Sunday, the 1st of September. The announcement by Russian newspaper Vedomosti is based on information from one of Telegram's ICO investors. The code should allow public testing of the node system for the Telegram open network. There is currently no official date or announcement from Pavel Durov's team, but if true, the information adds another milestone to Telegram's public or blockchain efforts. The point being The people from Telegram gave us news at the beginning of this year, or rather, it was leaked by someone who was an investor, that the people from Telegram had to launch their mainnet by Halloween of this year, October 31st. If not, all the money that they had raised from the ICO would have flown back to the investors, and therefore this is why I personally believe that they've gotten the move on. It's so weird. People take so long until someone threatens them with something, and they're like, okay, we'll do it. And it's like, people gave you billions of dollars, just do what you have to do. The entire point being, the other side of this as well is I'm fairly certain that they're trying to launch this once again. Everyone's trying to beat Facebook. How successful they will be? Question mark. I think Facebook is going to blow a lot of projects completely out of the water. And yeah, I think there was something else I had to say, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Anyway, the point is, Telegram's coin is going to be launched sometime relatively soon. No exact date, but it will be before Halloween. What was the other one? Kick and Ken are still in that stupid legal battle with the SEC because the SEC is just trying to find a way to stay relevant and make money. Who was the other? There was another cryptocurrency coin who was talking about being launched. Alibaba coin was never a thing. Facebook coin is coming. Anyway, everyone's trying to make sure that they launch before Facebook coin. And now we have information about when the code is going to be released. And it's in a couple days from now. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Adam Krakzik, Mohamed Maroni, Vast Adventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Woody and Daisy, Triple M&J, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Milweezy, JR, Mechanic, Strange, Radio Central, Crypto Artist, Cold D3D, Cryptopolis, Nicholas, One of the Piece. Wow. Nicholas, One Earth, One Piece, One Love, could not say that one fast. Damien, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Crypto Beer Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, and Miller hits chest every day. Kyle skips leg day. Thank you all very much for your support. At the moment, the market is green-ish. Not completely green, but it looks like it's doing okay. Bitcoin looks like it has, to be fair, it has moved up from where it was yesterday. Bitcoin dropped to 9,300, somewhere around that number. So we have moved up by 300 since then. Don't want to get my hopes up for a movement above 10,000 over the weekend. It looks like the market may be trying to test to see if we can go back over 10,000 again. No real reason why we shouldn't be able to go over 10,000. It's just more of a will the whales let it do so? Nothing spectacularly up or down at the moment. Nothing that I can actually see that's like super outperforming that isn't being pumped by anyone. Nope, nothing too crazy and no real news on anything other. And yeah, Tether was going down a little bit ago, but it looks like people may be buying Tether again as there may be another dip. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, or great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all. Gonna move the mouse soon. See you.